All right, here's a quick question for you.
Okay, bud.
Couple angles on this thing. One, I got to get your thoughts on the 49ers in the 3 games since Chase Young has arrived have 15 sacks. Now, who would you, if I said to you, the Niners have won 3 in a row, why? Would you say they got Chase Young and it made the rest of the D-line better? Would you say they put Ambry Thomas in for Oliver and their coverage got tighter? Would you say, you know what, they eliminated their penalties on first and second down on offense and they just been running it more effectively because of it? Would you say Brock Purdy's not turning over the football like he did? Or would you say the Niners just got healthy and that's what's been the key? What has been, in your mind, the number one key to this 3-game turnaround that we've seen?
The defense is playing at an elite level. They're playing elite. They're not just playing good. They're playing elite. They're playing elite football. They're not scoring. For what it's worth, we haven't seen the best running backs, but we're doing very well against the run.
And is it more up front or more on the back end? It was like, so if you say defense, then you take away clean football health and Brock and say it's probably either Chase Young up front or Ambry on the back end or the health of Greenlaw in the middle. But would you credit more the coverage improvement or the addition of Chase? Because the one thing that's really clear is Armstead and Hargrave, since the arrival of Chase, have become far more impactful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, for me, the arrival of Chase has been impactful. But for me, I feel like it's easy to say that he's just there, and with Chase and Randy being on the defensive line, the talent that they bring is just kind of giving everybody an uptick. And I understand that they're talented players. I don't want to take anything away from these guys. Far be it for me to do that. But it really is them falling back into what we do well, and that is the depth. They brought more depth. They're giving our guys a chance to get to the quarterback. That's the problem. That's the problem that I saw with our
better depth up front.
We have better depth up front, which is giving the guys a lot more time to get to the quarterback. They're more fresh. The DBs have a lot more confidence in the back. And also Coach Wilkes, he's been mixing things up. He's been disguising our coverages a lot more pre-snap, okay? We've been seeing a lot of different fronts coming out of the defensive line where he's dropping defensive linemen out of the A-gap. Man, I saw Eric Armstead dropping in pass coverage. I saw Javon Hargraves dropping pass coverage one play. Like Givens dropped in pass coverage a couple of plays, right? He's not just making us an easy target. I feel like before, because we could be honest, albeit this defense is very good, but they're not, in my opinion, they're not as talented as last year's defense, right? Pound for pound, right? So we're not necessarily as talented as we were last year. So we do have to mix it up a little bit with protecting ourselves. Feel like last year and the years prior, we ran a very vanilla cover 3 defense. We showed you what we were doing and we dared you to beat us because we are the guys who had the players across the board to actually man up with any offense that we saw, right? We had a Jimmy Ward. We had an Azeez Al-Shaair. We had depth on the defensive line and an Emmanuel Mosley. We had 2 corners that could be exclusively by themselves and we can really mug up in the front 7. We don't have that this year. So we've had to disguise a little bit more. We've had to have proof of concept. Isaiah Oliver being taken down, and not just with Isaiah Oliver being sat down, but you could have sat down Isaiah Oliver and just literally stuck somebody in his position. But what they did is not only did they take Isaiah Oliver out, but they took Ambry Thomas and were smart enough not to put Ambry in this nickel, put him outside, right?
And I asked Ambry about that. He said he's really, I mean, he almost said, look, I'm only an outside guy.
But you know that hurts your money if you come out and just say
he pretty much said yourself. He's pretty much said it. I said, can you play inside? Can you play outside? He's like, I'm an outside guy.
Some guys need that sideline. They need it, right? So for me, I see those are real. Those aren't just wrinkles. Those are real adjustments, right? Bringing in Ambry and knowing we can't put this kid in nickel. He's going to struggle. And then for Deommodore Lenoir to be motivated enough to come down there and play. Who would have knew that we had a nickel and Demo the way we did? I was clearly paying attention to 3 people at the nickel position outside of Isaiah Oliver, of course. But for me, it was Darrell Luter Jr., it was Ambry Thomas, or it was Sammy Womack. Those were my three guys that I saw in the nickel position. I always thought that Demo was going to be exclusively on the outside. And for them to take that chance means that they didn't just guess that. They've seen that in practice. That's another wrinkle that they've put in. Again, bringing in bringing in Jair Brown to sub in for Talanoa just for one game, albeit not that much, but he did play very well. And he wasn't asked to do a lot. That's coaching. For me, we're a defensive-led team, okay? And not only are we a defensive-led team, but it's over the past 3 weeks, the 3-week losing streak, you can also say that, man, us being top 5 ain't enough. It ain't enough. The fans, us, we've let it be known that us having a top 10 defense is not enough. It's not our standard. It's even if we lose games and score 17 points, we've all seen the fan base, the head coach himself, everybody will say, well, the defense is, we got to get this defense together. So if that's what needed to be done, and the fact that we went into a bye week, took the time off to be able to bring these guys on, and on top of it, bring 2 new guys on that didn't have anything to do with the defense, with our defensive coordinator learning this defense for the first time. It's the defense, man. The defense, they got to be the standard bearers, and, they bounced back to number 1 in almost every category in one bye week. That's huge. On the road, divisional opponent. They don't care. It's this defense, man.
I love what I'm seeing from Armstead right now. I think Armstead has been reignited. I mean, think about it. When they went to the Super Bowl, he had a monster sack year, double-digit sack total, because he had Bosa on one end, and he had Dee Ford on the other end, and he was falling into sacks. Now he's got Chase and Bosa, and he's falling into sacks, and he's getting after the quarterback. I thought the way Armstead has played the last couple of weeks has just been absolutely unfreaking believable. And if Armstead and Hargrave can keep playing at this level, the 49ers are going to be tough to beat for anybody, anywhere. Eagles, Chiefs, home, road, Ravens. They're going to be a tough out if Armstead and Hargrave continue to play this way.